Hello and welcome to World Talks on TVP World. I'm Anna Kalczyńska. There's hope for me on grass, said Iga Świątek, former world number one, despite losing to the American Jessica Pegula in the Bad Homburg Open final. Now, you may wonder why we're dealing with this subject since Iga lost, but it's because she recorded her 50 top 10 win of career with victory over Jasmine Paolini and managed to make it to their first final on grass, her best result on the surface. Joining me now is Agata Bachanek, sports reporter, TVP Info. Good morning, madam. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So, as I said, Świątek has struggled on the quicker grass surface in her professional career, but appeared to turn a corner in Germany, recording her first victory over a top 10 player on grass by crushing last year's Wimbledon runner-up Jasmine Paolini in the semifinals. All of her 22 titles, as I read, have either been won on hard courts or on clay. So, what does it mean? Does it really mean that Iga can play on grass?
Yes, and very important two things. First of all, she played first final after over a year. We have to remember that last final she played was on the clay court, last year on Roland Garros court. So that's the very, very important first thing. In my opinion, it's gonna give her like huge power, and I hope so, she's gonna believe in herself again, because waiting that long for such a good player like Iga, over a year for her first WTA final, it's a long time. And another important thing is that she's going to be number 4 again. Obviously for her it's the most important to be number 1 in the world, but step by step. So she's going to be number 4 since tomorrow, actually. But we have to remember that Wimbledon draw was made 2 days ago. She's gonna be seeded number 8 on Wimbledon's courts. But if we talk about Bad Homburg, I think that she made a huge progress on grass. Like she said this many times. She doesn't like to play on grass, even though she won juniors Wimbledon a few years ago. But the senior tennis is completely different thing. After she lost in semi-final of Roland Garros this year, she was practicing a few days on grass, then in Mallorca actually. Then she came to Bad Homburg. She was practicing another few days. She wanted to play a few matches, and I have to say that she made a huge progress on grass.
Right,
she started to move much better. Yeah.
Right. Could you please explain us why the grass is so problematic, and why is Iga performing well on other surfaces, and here with this grass she struggles so much?
Because grass is the fastest surface. Actually, it's completely different than hard court. Even though it's hard court, obviously it's also fast. But on grass, the ball bounces really low, so the players have to move and have to be like really low on their legs. So the footwork is completely different. And also for a player such Iga Świątek, it's maybe more like details right now, but especially with her forehand, she when she have time on surface such as clay court, she can use her footwork in a completely different way, but and she also has slide on the clay court, but you can't do this on the grass. Like I said, the ball bounces like really low, and her grip, her forehand grip, it's more for a clay court. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is serve. She was struggling with her serve for the last few months, but now, like I said a little bit earlier, she made a progress with footwork, with her serve as well. Yeah, so that's the thing on the grass. And when we look on Wimbledon winners, I mean women's winners, for the last 8 years, every year is a different player who won Wimbledon. So I think it shows us how difficult that surface is.
Definitely. Well, definitely also Iga lacks self-confidence, and Jessica Pegula even congratulated her on her performance, saying that you played very well. You say that you're not the best on grass, but you can do better. You see it for yourself. So it's not been the best season for Iga. What might be the reasons behind her poor performance? Is it all in her head?
Well, I think we even though we know a lot, we don't know everything about what happens beside the scenes. We remember when she couldn't play for almost 2 months last year. She lost her #1 position in the world, and we know how ambitious she is. And she also was winning a lot of matches. When you start losing, you lose your confidence. And the good thing about this is that Iga is looking for this confidence. She wants to work so hard. She tries to find this confidence back. And we also have to remember that semi-final of Australian Open, semi-final of Roland Garros, those are really good results, but for a player such Iga, it's not enough. She always says, I want to be the best, I want to win every Grand Slam tournament, even it's not gonna happen in the same year, but she's just very ambitious. And I think that last year, when she first of all lost in the semi-final of Olympics, and then she lost the position #1 in the world, it's kind of like that's why she actually lost her confidence. But like I said, she's working so hard. We can see that she tries to make progress on every single surface. So I think that final in Bad Homburg, it's gonna give her this power. And like I said, I think that she might have back this confidence for Wimbledon. Like you said, she played really well in the final of Bad Homburg. Obviously, Jessica Pegula, for now, she is super confident on the court, but still, Iga played really well. She was trying to be offensive on the court. She was trying to play slice. She was trying to go to the net. Maybe it's not that good yet, but still we can see that she's just working and making this progress.
So Iga ranks 8th in the WTA currently, but the performance in Bad Homburg will push her up in the rankings. Let's hope that this will give her the necessary...
At number 4, yeah.
Yes, a necessary psychological boost. But how about ramping up in this ranking? I mean, what does she have to do to advance? And is it even possible, because the difference is quite huge to Azarenka?
Yeah, yes, it's going to be hard to be #1 in the next few months, but #3 or #2, #2, remember, is Coco Gauff, and #3 Jessica Pegula. But it's really possible. Like, she doesn't have to. She didn't win that much in the second half of the year last year, so she can just make new points in the second half of the year. So starting from Wimbledon this year, and then the next tournaments such as US Open, or even tournaments that are going to be in Asia. So in the next few months, for sure, she can jump back to number 3 or number 2, and later this year or at the beginning on the next year, she can be back at number 1, because remember the good results, Sabalenka's good results from the beginning of the year, such as final of Australian Open, and then she won she won few tournaments later. So at the beginning of the next year, she's going to fight for those points. But for Iga, if she plays well at Wimbledon, or if she plays well at another tournaments, she easily can be number 3 or number 2 very soon.
All right, so Sabalenka remains far to reach. But Iga starts on Tuesday, facing Polina Kudermetova on Wimbledon. So what can we expect from her, do you think?
I think it's a good draw for her. Obviously, if we look later in the draw, in the third round, there is going to be probably match against Daniel Collins. I remember their last match in Rome on clay court, but I think when she made this really huge progress on grass, we can even expect like quarterfinal or even semi-final Wimbledon this year. If she's going to believe in herself, if she's going to play like she did in Bad Homburg, be offensive, believe in herself, she can really make this quarterfinal or even semi-final. Obviously, there is later in the tournament Rybakina of Goff, but I think that if she make quarterfinal or even, like I said, semi-final, she's going to be very, very happy. So that's the most important, to keep this game from Bad Homburg, to keep this good mindset, because you know it's very important. When we look at Iga in Bad Homburg, she was happy, she was enjoying playing, she was enjoying to be on the court. That's the thing that we actually couldn't see sometimes in the past this season. I think for tennis players who travel a lot, who play a lot of matches, it's super important to just be happy on the court, to just be, to just enjoy this game. And that's the thing that we could see on Iga's face in Bad Homburg.
Okay, so we wish her all the enthusiasm she needs. And very shortly, as we have to wrap up, how about Magdalena Frank and Magdalinette?
For Magdalinette is going to play with Jack Montt. It's a player from France, so I think it's a very good draw. We have to remember that Magdalinette, she lost in last 6 Grand Slams in the first round, so I think Wimbledon is going to be the one that she's going to break finally the first round, and Magdalena Frank is going to play Anastasia Potapova. It's not going to be an easy match, but looking at Magda against Andreeva, for example, I'm pretty sure she can win against Potapova. So I'm going to cross my fingers really hard.
Obviously, we all are. Thank you so much, Agata Bachanek, sport reporter, TVP Info. Thank you for joining us this morning, madam.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching TVP World here on World Talks. Stay tuned for more info and more other features.